morning. Welcome to FYI. Good morning. Wherever you're joining us from, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see each and every one of you here. Folks, as we come on, we encourage you to share the live, mark that emoji button, folks, and let's get on with it. Good to have each and every one of you here. And what a weekend we have had, folks. What a weekend we have had. As again, we say welcome to each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are privileged, as usual, to have you guys share another 4 to 5 minutes or so with us. We see we already have Sukchan Sudhari joining us on Facebook, I think it is. We also have Claire Alexis Chomley Richmond, who is joining us too, and all the other folks on the different pages and places. Terrence Hodge is joining us too. Abida Moore is here with us. Good morning, Abida, Petal, Ingrid. Good to have you. Good to have each and every one of you with us, and all the other folks who are now joining us, folks. Welcome to our broadcast. You're in the right place. You're a little late if you're now joining us. Clyde Fowler, but you missed nothing. Sean of Fortune, who no. Glenford Gordon, good to see you, and Siobhan and Pam and Bantu. Bantu said he's just wrapping up a double. Where are you having that, Bantu? Do let us know where you're having that doubles. Carlton is here and Ramsing. Beatrice, is it double shift or doubles as in the food? Do let us know. Red Snapper is here too. Good morning, Red Snapper. What's for lunch? Beatrice and all the other folks who are joining us, a very good morning to you guys. Happy to have you here. Let me pull back my seat a little bit. Yvonne Ramasar is here. Folks, how was the weekend? It was an interesting weekend. I find like our exposure could be done a little bit. It's a little bright. The white's a little too white. Little too white. But good to have you folks, Camille and Dolly and Bantu, and Pinky, Beatrice, Yvonne Ramasar. Camille, how was the flag raising in Region 6? Region 6. A lot of folks say they don't like the flag being raised at 12 o'clock in the day. There are some issues there with the flag being raised at 12 o'clock in the day. Folks, do let us know how you are doing this morning. We got a couple of things we want to get through. Chambi Gibbs is here with us, and Cheryl Andres, Lennox, Yvonne Ramasar is here with us too. Guys, good morning. Great to see you here. The coffee is a little cold at my end. Hope it's better where you guys are. I've been sipping this cup for about 4 to 5 minutes now, and I would love another hot cup. Camille Cox, Sandra Hanover, Lorena Argyle. Good to see each and every one of you folks. What a weekend. We have had lots happening. We got the strike action that continues by the Ghana Teachers Union. We're in day 15. We're in day 15. I know the graphic has day 15, so if we're not there, apologies in advance. Is it day 15 already? We're in the third week? Yeah. We got that happening, folks. We got other things happening as well. Great to have each and every one of you here with us. As we said, much happened over the weekend. Yeah. Did you guys go out? Did you guys participate in that? Much happened. Folks, I'm just happy when we don't have to work. So we try to use the opportunity to rest first and foremost and refire to come again. We're just happy when we don't have to go to any place. So MASH for us is a rest day. It's a rest day. Happy for all of the folks who went out. Clyde and Camille and fourth week, Camille says. Fourth week. What day is it? I think we got day 15 now. I think it has day 15. Right? Bantu wants the back channels. Good. Coming up, Bantu. Back channels. Bantu likes the back channels. Good to have you, Tommy Gibbs, Debbie Collins. Debbie, how are you doing this morning? Sonia Massey, come all the way up there in Maryland. All the way up there. Around the corner in Maryland. How is the weather where you are, Sonia? How is your daughter doing? We know the whole thing. How is your daughter doing, Sonia? We sing good morning to the folks in Maryland. Jilly G, how are you doing? Jilly G, how are you doing? I'm watching a pair of glasses in front of me here. Jilly G, how are you doing this morning? Good to have you on the live. Great to see you, Diane Fordyce, Jilly G, Andrew Griffith, the whole FYI family, folks. Take the opportunity. Share us once, please. Share us once. If everybody watching us now, a couple hundreds, share us but once, or we could give so many other folks valid and credible information. Share us once, folks. Kevin's still alive, and Forbes Badus, and all the other folks joining us. Yep. Bantu says the back channels will have the 411 in the Qatar hotel. Yeah. I see we had some other visitors over the weekend, folks. And I started wondering what else we're giving away. What else we're gonna be giving away? As we saw, folks, we got some folks who have joined us for the what do you call it? The CARICOM Heads of Government meeting. We started wondering what else we're gonna be giving away. Right? Y'all know that's how we roll. Selling out everything for next to nothing. Next to nothing. Rock bottom prices. Which our guys could benefit. Sale of land at these prices, these cats want to be sharing them out for. Lots happening, folks. And we trust that you guys are great. Wherever you're joining us from, folks, good to have each and every one of you. Roxy says, I done share. We like folks like Roxy. Always on the beat, never missing a minute. Roxy said, I done share. Roxy McKinnon. Good to have you on the live this morning. Beryl Crawford is here with us as well. Ram Singh says, shut it down. Folks, there's a lot happening. Let's get to some of it. The 46th CHOG, the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting, started yesterday, and it's so much we can unpack on that. So much we can unpack. Let me come back a little bit. So much we can unpack on this 46th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting. Some of the stuff we heard before, like where are we 1 year later, 2 years later, right? Some of these themes, every CARICOM Heads of Government meeting, we hear them at. Like, when are we going to actually get down to some work? And that's why CARICOM and CARI have gone. I know Forbes Burnham and Eugenia Charles and Errol Barrow, the big ones who were there in the earlys, probably tossed in the grave when they see what CARICOM has come to. Right? CARICOM Secretary General, I'm certain a fantastic woman in her own right, but seem very reclusive. We've had some big CARICOM Secretary Generals, Edwin Carrington, and you could name a couple of them. Right? But they seem to be becoming more and more quiet and reclusive. And it's not only Dr. Bennett. The one before that, what was his name? He was a little quiet and reclusive too. Right. Maybe we need some energy to get things done there, perhaps. But like we've heard some of these themes before. Any surprises with some of these themes we're hearing? Elimination of hunger and malnutrition. You can hear a couple of them being floated. You can hear a couple of them being floated. Elizabeth Narayan, good to see you at that end. How are you doing, Elizabeth? Good to see you on your feet. Welcome. The point I'm making is that we got to get the potential that is CARICOM has to become performance. And it would appear to us like some of the things we've been seeing here, CARICOM is now catching up to. Some of the things we've been floating at our end here, the guys are now getting up to speed with. And we'll point out a couple. We're gonna point out a couple, not plenty. You know how we not want to cause a lot of distress with people. We're gonna point out a couple. Meeting after meeting, we've been hearing some of the same themes for CARICOM. And we're beginning to wonder, like, Are we there yet? We're beginning to wonder, are we there with a couple of these things? Are we there yet? So the 46th CARICOM heads of government meeting opened yesterday, and I noticed a couple of things. We were in the area. There was a cleanup at the what do you call it? The other end of home stretch, Jubilee Park, home stretch. You remember that? Jubilee Park. We were at that end. And right up to midday, that area there by Cultural Center was not in tip-top shape. You know, we like typical Guyanese. You know, when foreigners coming, it's then we sweeping up. It's then we see the sweepers on the road, you know, raking up the sand, pedestrian crossings being painted and so on. Now, if we give City Hall the resources that it needs, right? And folks are doing these things on a consistent basis. If you see some of the lines being painted, you don't know who getting some of these contracts, and we can discuss that. There's a lot to be desired in this country. A lot to be desired. We don't wake up every day trying to be critical of the government. But my God, they make it so easy. If we're in this perpetual state of operating a state, then we don't have to be giddy when the foreigners come. Oh, hide the clothes, hide the clothes. Take the clothes on the chair, put the shoes at the back. That's how the mat. Wash the wares. If you constantly have your home in a certain way, there's no giddy up when people are visiting, but we saw giddy up yesterday. How could you have CARICOM heads of government meeting at one head of home stretch and the other head of home stretch is like a jungle? They wanted to return that area there, Jubilee Park, the way we found it in 2015, as a jungle. We got to do much better. So the CARICOM heads of government meeting open, the 46th CARICOM heads of government. And it's very interesting because you hear Ali talk about eliminating hunger and so on. Well, folks, dear folks, you should know by now, if you're an ardent viewer, listener of our broadcast here, we've been following this, the many installments of how the cost of living affecting people. And it's produced by Sabbath News. And again, we go in this direction because it's not a new nation. Because they'll want to say, oh, you coax these people, this is politics, it's propaganda, you're pandering. It's not the key out of the Alliance for Change or the Change newsletter out of Alliance for Change or the New Nation out of the PNCR. This is a bona fide, middle of the road media house, a publication here in Guyana. And they spoke to a number of persons. We have so much we want to deal with this morning. We can just touch on a couple of them. Nina Anderson, a 53-year-old businesswoman, said, the cost of living affecting my family. They're affecting my family now a lot because every day as you go on the road, there's a new price control on food items. Every day there's a new price on food items. The cost on basic things not reducing. The cost on basic things not reducing. John Donellas, things are very expensive now, especially the cost of cooking gas. Grocery items have increased. Ashanti shawls. And these are folks who Sabbath News quizzed at Triumph on the East Coast. Ashanti Shalt says, the cost of living is kind of higher than me. I'm a family of 3, including my husband and my toddler. My husband's income is not sufficient to buy everything for the home and pay the rent at the same time. Right. This is the, 64th edition every week. You do the math. Sabbath News produces one of these columns, articles, and the refrain is always the same. And here is the president of Guyana for the 6th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting, talking about eliminating hunger. Charity should begin at home. Charity should begin right here. We want to solve the region's problem. People starving right here. Don't have a pint of rice and a half pint split peas when the day come. Charity should start right here. It seemed quite a contradiction. Right in your own backyard and barnyard, you got things happening, people hungry in this country, not seeing the way. We trying to food, clothe, and house the whole Caribbean. Let the change you want begin with you. Let the change you desire begin with you. Let it begin with you. So lofty goals. And again, we keep hearing the refrain all the time, Rastaman. Karen McPherson, Dolly, Warren Figuera. Lofty ideals. Right. Removing the barrier trade. Right. Challenges. This is your point, you know. Challenging citizens to pressure leaders. Folks, we don't make these things up. You already know when people visit in, right? You know when you're kids and your officers by your house. Your parents will give you the eye. Stay in your place. That's what Ali trying to give you right now. You know the truth, right? Mommy telling the person, your life is sick. You know mommy is strong. Oh, you know, and then you have this way of throwing out the best for the visitors, right? You ain't see macaroni and cheese, mac and cheese in a long time, right? You ain't see a breasted chicken in a long time, but the guests getting all of that, you know. And you say, mommy, where is spend all the time? Right? You watching the plate and you salivating, mommy giving you the eye. Don't you dare. Ali is challenging citizens to pressure leaders. I hope you're hearing Guyana Teachers Union. Challenging citizens rather. Pressure leaders. We must urge a swift removal of trade barriers, folks. I'm hearing this for the last 10, 15 years. It's never CSME is about. And the other regimes in CARICOM, you mean we remove these trade barriers yet? When's the last time I hear Rowley talking about lots of the problems that we got is because Caribbean governments are very reluctant even to embrace CARICOM's own initiatives? But we're still here. We're still here, folks. And then we hear them saying that Haiti is going to become a major feature of this sitting, this 46th Heads of Government, CARICOM Heads of Government meeting. Haiti is going to feature prominently. We've been talking with Haiti for the last 3 years. It's just that CARICOM leaders here listening to the citizenship. How could we have a CARICOM member state like Haiti in such disarray? Have we just gone merrily until the next CARICOM Heads of Government meeting? How could we, Dolly? Right? Your mother man, that's a name, you know. Jesus of mercy. Audrey Ward, that's a name on Facebook here. Gail Cock, how could we go on? Well, we now seem to wake up with Haiti. Let's see how it goes. Remember, GTU and others, I saw GTUC out for MASH. Some folks representing the Palestinian interest out and about as well. Pressure your government, pressure your leaders. They can talk, they talk a good talk. But can they walk the walk? That's another story that we're going to examine. It's another aspect. We can examine a couple of things we think you ought to know about as you start the day today. We saw Minister Joe Hamilton receiving the Saudi Foreign Minister. They really don't have respect for the Saudi Foreign Minister. They really have no respect. Polari Joe. Yep. Looking out of place as usual. And above his pay grade. Most definitely. But we want to welcome all the folks. All the folks. You see? Despite Polari Joe. All the folks who are visiting with us. Right? All the folks. Don't believe the Flurry. Words alone. Nothing irregular. You all remember who used to say that? Who made that popular? Nothing irregular. Oh, we stand on the shoulders of giants like that. Nothing irregular. Wendell Hudson, Mark, Lynn Finance, Kamal Prasad, former Vice Chair, Region 7. Nothing irregular. When they send Joe to escort you, you must know. You must know. We also have with us the U.S. Ambassador to CARICOM. U.S. Ambassador to CARICOM, I think it is. Yep. Linda Thomas Greenfield. U.S. Ambassador to the UN, I think it is. Yes, U.S. Ambassador to the UN. Come on, check it for me. Let me box my notes quickly. Just to be certain. Right? And we're talking about elimination of hunger in the region. Folks, you see this whole issue about the cost of living? I can touch on it some more this evening. I'll drill down on it some more, what some of the folks are telling us. But how the cost of living treating them. We'll talk about that some more. Right? Please and thank you. Yes, is the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Linda Thomas Greenfield. That's a backup myself. Visiting with us as well. Welcome, Ambassador. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Debbie Collins and Abira. You're all sharp. Thank you so much. U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas Greenfield. Visiting also is going to be part of the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting, the 46th. Meeting has started, They done got the communiques signed already. They done got the thing signed already and thing out. They're just pageantry right now. But we want to welcome all of those persons visiting. I wish they would come out of the bubble. Right? And go around and see some of the stalled projects that are happening, questionable ones, friends, family, and favorites. I wish they would come out of the bubble. But welcome, nonetheless, to all of those visiting with us this morning, Michelle and Jolly. Welcome to all of you as well who are on with us this morning. Well over 800, we're about to touch 900 persons watching us live. We're so grateful. Right? You might be watching us on one page, but we see the summation of all the folks watching us. And we're grateful for that. On our YouTube channel, we got 400 plus watching us. And our Facebook page, over 400 as well. Thanks to you wonderful folks. Take the opportunity as you're on with us and share that live so that others get the valid and incredible information. That's the only price of admission here. Smash that emoji button too. Over 900 persons watching us now. Each one of you share us but once. Oh, the other folks who could get valid, incredible information. Please and thank you. If each one of you smash that emoji button, we could drive up that algorithm and Facebook itself would start distributing us further. Thank you so much for that, folks. Smash that emoji button. For us, wherever you're joining us from, Vashti Magnot. We see you there, Vashti and Yvonne Ramasar. As I said, we had some folks who came out yesterday, trying to put pressure on the leaders. And these folks were hoping to get the attention of the U.S. Ambassador, the local Palestine Solidarity Group. Protests visiting U.S. Ambassador, or protested the visiting U.S. Ambassador, over UN support for Israel or to Israel. Yeah, whatever your beliefs, it's part of the democratic process to have you put that out there, free from fear. Free from fear. And I was happy to see them making their voices heard. If that is their thing, that's their thing. A very protracted, a very nuanced issue, Israeli-Palestinian relations and conflict and history and all of that. A very nuanced issue. But happy to see people exercising the democratic right. Exercising that right. Hoping to get the U.S. ambassador to the UN's attention. Right. Linda Greenfield. And this is the local local Palestine solidarity group. Yep, just a couple of the things happening, folks. We also saw, as we were in protests, we also saw the Ghana Trade Unions Congress and the Anti-Discrimination Institute out on Match Day, aiming for maximum exposure. Out on Match Day, lifting their voices as well, demanding respect for workers' rights, especially where the collective bargaining agreements are concerned. So kudos to the local Palestinian support group and also the Ghana Trade Union Congress and Anti-Discrimination Institute. That is democracy for you. That is the democratic process for you. And again, the latter, the GTUC and the Anti-Discrimination Institute projects were aimed at respect for workers' rights, respect for the collective bargaining process. Very important. All of them, very, very important issues that we got to grapple with. Each and every one of them. Julian, good to see you there. Bantu, as usual, always about Yvonne and Horace. King of Kings, that's a YouTube handle. That's a YouTube name. King of Kings. Who are we to say differently? Colleen Tobin is here too. Anne-Marie Selby is here too. The beautiful. So people are out exercising their democratic right. And as we unmatched, folks. as we unmatched. Folks, this is to set a day on the right, on a light note, as we unbash. Meow. As we unbash. Name that animal. Name that animal. I'll give you a story. Name that animal. Let me give her kudos. Let me give her kudos. I think it was Saturday morning. Saturday morning, if not Sunday. I can't remember. My wife and I and our little son, we went walking in the park. It might have been Saturday morning. Folks, I don't know. It's a blur to me. We went walking in the park and we saw the floats, the remainder of them scattered in the park. And this one appealed to us, and my wife took this photograph. I won't give her props. My wife took this photograph. We stood there for a little while trying to discern. You see, when you spread cleanness, discern things. We were trying to discern Sheila Boychild, Elizabeth Howard, and Debbie Cullen. We were trying to discern, what species of animal is this? We were trying to discern that for a long time, I said, Lord help us here. Like we pores clog up. Because we didn't picking it up. Elizabeth Narain, you've been gone for too long. Look what we've become. Look what we have become. Look, I was passing through Piarca, as some of you guys know, quite recently. I'm so sorry I didn't snap a photograph, right? My wife is raw with me. She said, look, you gone. I want to see everything. Send photographs. Like, don't even got the energy. Like, like we passed away before. Technology, everything. But in hindsight, I should have taken a photograph of a costume. I think it was King of the Banner or something like that. He passing through Piarco Airport. Huh? It's right in the foyer, in the lobby where they got the cafeteria. If you see the detail on this costume, I got up close to, there's a barrier there, you can come so close and no more. And side to side, I'm inspecting and imagining how long it took for those people to put that thing together. It's like little balls of different sizes, right? Balls of different size make up this costume, and it had to be painstaking work to put that together. If you see the result of it, beautiful costume. As we walked up, we couldn't help but to think, the Trinidadians see us, they must laugh us. The Brazilians, the gods of Carnival, they must laugh us to score. Right? I saw a comment on social media that said, if people doing this for free, it's one thing. It started the other way. It's one thing if people doing this for free, but if you're actually paying people, that's the real trouble. Mark and Jacqueline and Evan Faith, if we actually paying people, let me come out of it a little bit. Let me slide over a little bit so you get more of it. Right? Yeah. Folks, some folks say it's the Jacobite. Right? Guyana make an easy transition. That's a name on YouTube. Says it's the Jacobats. It's the Jacobite. Part of mercy. Let me go. I see you did that another name on YouTube, folks. Let me go. You gotta love these names. Let me go. Wow. I don't. But we need help, folks. We were going somewhere. We big now. We've been at MASH a little while. Maybe we took our eyes off the ball. We gone from MASH to Carnival and all manner of things. Maybe we took our eyes off the ball. You see? And we end up with a hybrid here. We end up with a mixture. A mixed breed. What it is. MASH 2024. MASH 2024. I'm happy for all the folks who went out. It was a time for you just to relax a little bit and forget. Right? But then you were reminded where we are in this country. When you see some of the creations, you wondered where we are. Right? We're a fine nation, A lot of folks were trying to discern what was this one about. Right? You had some mannequins. Was this that Rhonda and Lola doll thing taken to another extreme? Mannequins. Heads of mannequins, and I don't know, is this hell? Is it purgatory? It seems to be fire. Fire nation. Every day. Folks, what's happening here? You're now joining us. Take the opportunity to share the live. We want other people to comment too. Get the valuable, incredible information. Smash that emoji button, folks. Oh, some of you, I want people to come back and see. I like this thing here. I want to come back and see. I like this program. We got over 1,000 folks joining us online. Oh, we're so happy. Joining us live. If every person took the opportunity to share this broadcast, my God, we would sell off, as we say in the vernacular. We'd sell off. Smash that emoji button for us as well, good folks. This is what we got. Folks were trying to discern, right, what this one was. Right? Those who know, Do let us know. Right? I want to give it to the designers in a sense. You know, they're trying, right? But it's up to the policymakers, those who have this responsibility, to capacity build. We got something, but we gotta continue to hone that thing, hone it and sharpen that. And if you're a designer, right, and not only a designer, whatever field you're in, I encourage you to be curious. We're curious about the work we do here. Right? When we have some downtime, we look around in the Caribbean, see who else does shows the way we do it here. Live shows, political commentary, social commentary. You know, who doing it well? What can we learn from them? How can we improve? If you come out here and I see too many of our young people get called like this. Think you're the expert. You're unteachable. You're unlearnable. You're in problems. Right? Don't look for nothing local. Look regionally, look internationally. Whatever is your field. Whatever is your sphere of influence. Right? Expertise. Continue to be curious. Right? People wondering about that. March 2024. There's another one for you. Right? This one, folks said, was supposed to be depicting the roads. There's the roads that friends and family favorites is built in this country. Right? Perhaps the designer was spot on. His fragile operation. I saw the bishop talking about they want to do flyovers. Folks, hold on. Let's just get the ones we're doing right now done properly. Let's just get the ones we're doing currently. Let's just get those properly. Right. Let's just get them right. Don't let's worry to fly over and so on yet. Please. You can see some guys plunging off the flyover. Let's just get what we have now done correctly. Please and thank you. Yeah. MASH was interesting. If I know MASH was going to be this interesting, I would have gone out earlier. I would have gone much earlier. Part of what I've been advocating for, I took my heart a little bit, a couple of years now, you know, we should have a space in this country, right? Sophia Exhibition Center, perhaps. We'll have the big auditorium, and for a period of time after MASH, we park these floats in there, right? Kind of like a temporary museum, and we could take our school children, and we can talk to them about what the depiction means, or elicit from them what do they see here when they see this animal, when they see these green and black and so on, and this particular one here. What do you see? And maybe we can talk to them about road safety and so on. But that'd be a nice area for even tourists to go long after MASH is finished and see some of the depiction, some of the costumes, the floats and so on, you know. But we see them strewn across the landscape here in the city and elsewhere the day after MASH. Millions of dollars spent in costumes, and we just see them flung anywhere. I think he said, as I was coming through Piarco 2 weekends ago, there was this king of the band, I think that was it, or queen of the band, cordoned off, and is there for all the tourists passing through to view and appreciate. It was a masterpiece. And instead of discarding them, you know, so quickly, maybe we can put them away for a couple of months, You know, there's a fire exhibition center. You know, you have a curator there, and schools can go and tourists even tour and see what MASH was like, some of the costumes and so on. What MASH was like 2024. You know, do we have like an like a appraisal, and you know, we go into the anatomy and say, what did we do wrong? Or do we just wait the day before MASH 2025 and then we start designing floats and so on? Do we have that? Somewhat we are following, folks, MASH 2024 and some of the interesting pieces that we saw. Vashti, some of the interesting pieces, Yvonne and Tracy, Mark, Linda, Shireen Hohencourt. Yeah, good to have you folks on. I want to cough so bad. If you see me welling up. We're in day 15, folks. Do we have the day right, folks? Day 15, is it? We had a couple holidays and so on interrupt. Are we in the right day? Folks, in week 4, I think we'll be far out. Is it day 15? Royston Campbell, Marcia Jackman, Rastaman, P. Alicock, took chance with Harry, says yes. Eva Mattis, Cheryl Sampson, that is. Belinda Halls, slippers on the ground. So the folks, Mark Light, the president of the Ghana Teachers Union, he was on a live, I think, yesterday. Slippers on the ground, he said again. Week 4, slippers on the ground. Encouraging folks, teachers and parents, members of the public who are going to be coming out to support the teachers protest action nationally, black and white. He said, we're burying race and we're burying politics. We want to deal with the issues on the table, right? For the collective bargaining, the issues on the table. Better conditions, better pay. Black and white is the theme, folks. If you're going out on the protest line today and this week, as you should be, right after you get off this program. Black and white, Yvonne and Tony, Debbie, Esther. Black and white, they say, are the colors as the teacher strike, folks, enters its 4th week. And you got to give it to our teachers for standing up and making their voices heard. 4 weeks. Last week, 2 big things happened. We saw the GPSU, the Ghana Public Service Union, issue that ultimatum to the government. They might be on the picket line soon themselves. And then Judge Sandal Kisoon handed down that decision that no deduction of pay should be had pending the final judgment on the matter before the court concerning the Ghana Teachers Union and the government. And also, the government should continue to remit the union dues to the union. Again, also, pending the decision on the matter currently before the court. So big win for the teachers union. And we hope that those who are a little timid and definitely concerned about your salary being cut because you got bills to meet, you don't run out of water. We understand that you are more emboldened now to come out and have your voices heard. Right? Or if you continue to stay in because you have a different view, right? When next time come, I didn't work for it. I didn't earn it. I didn't raise my voice, so I can give it to charity or I can send it back to the ministry. I didn't work for the extra, whatever that increase is going to be. You give it back, you send it back. I have no doubt you have folks who have some very high moral convictions and professional convictions and other things like that. You know, I have no doubt about that. But when night time come to, let those high convictions also instruct that, I wasn't part of getting it, so it's only fair. Give it to charity, send it to FYI in the ring, and give it back to the government, whatever your heart's desire. Whatever your heart's desire. So we're burying politics and racism, black and white, folks, black and white. We saw the GTU also likening the current situation as they up the ante for livable salary. Like we talk indentureship. Indentureship. You ain't got your full rights. You see? You're being exploited. I love it. I love it. And no doubt, the teachers are going to be making their voices heard loudly this week as CARICOM heads of government have their 46th meeting. No doubt. That's what we got to do, folks. That's what we got to do. 5 years after leaving the unauthorized, leaving the New Amsterdam prison, right? An escapee or a leaver was apprehended in Suriname. Why is it Suriname seems to have a more efficient system of tracking down our criminals? Seem to have a far more efficient system. By the time you hear a prisoner escaping in Suriname, that long trek from Lusignan, a lot of police roadblocks along the way. Right. One would hope immigration authorities at the borders and so on. And yet, all manner of challenges. All manner of challenges. But you can't do the time, don't do the crime. So let's see where this goes. Let's see where this goes, folks. They're telling us the gentleman, let me get his name right, Rameshwar Prakish, 25 years old, young people, right? Misguided, misdirected, find themselves in all manner of quandary, apprehended in Suriname, right? That's what the authorities are telling us. I'm not going to dig down in that anymore. 5 years on the run. Surinamese to the rescue. Surinamese. Right? Remember the costume? The violation costume? We reported on this file last week in Montrose. We reported on this one. Violation. And they're telling us that it could have been a faulty wiring. Well, not could have been. It was faulty wiring that resulted in a slack connection. Right? Sorry, faulty wiring and a slack connection that resulted in the fire that destroyed a 2-story wooden and concrete house Saturday night at Montrose. That's what they're telling us. The fire resulted from a slack connection and faulty wiring. I'd love to see how these investigations are conducted. That determined was a slack connection. We'd love to see how they do their deductions to get there at a faulty connection. All right? We're in the process of wrapping up, folks. In the process of wrapping up. Parliamentary opposition reiterating its call for a national approach to defense and security, and the information from the black box. That down GDF helicopter, December 6th, I think it was. What were the circumstances? We yet to hear 2 survivors from that helicopter crash, that Ghana Defense Force helicopter crash. 2 survivors. And to date, The nation hasn't heard from them. What were the circumstances that resulted in that helicopter crash? I don't want to go on theories, bad weather or the Venezuelans. What were the actual circumstances? Outside of us waiting for the black box analysis, what did local investigations reveal? Did we quiz the 2 survivors of the helicopter crash? This is so mind-boggling. This is so mind-boggling. You think Mayor Motley could get away with this in Barbados? You think Keith Rowley could get away with this in Trinidad? All the men on the flight weren't killed, 2 survivors. We haven't heard from them. We haven't heard from them. What is the GDF covering up? What is the government of Guyana covering up? You got to pry information out of this government. What are they covering up? What is it? Marcy Agar? What is it? And that's been the parliamentary opposition. As we're in the parliamentary opposition. So, Member Parliament Ganesh Maipal, with the facts on what's happening there with the Purika market construction, friends, family, and favorites all the time. When you look what's happening with contracts and who gets what and who is doing what and the quality of the work. Some contracts given months ago, a year ago, ain't start yet. Auditor General ain't seem bothered. Ministry of Finance ain't seem bothered. The contracting agencies ain't seem bothered. These things don't make the CARICOM agenda. Do they? They ain't making the agenda at CARICOM. That's why I said the CARICOM leaders visiting to get a true sense where this country going. You have to come out of the bubble. Come out of the bubble. Then you can see the real people. Right. Then you can see the true folks. True folks. True to form. We saw the Bishop, One Edghill, Minister of Works, Region 6, doing some mega canal projects and warning Edghill and Indar, warning of fire and brimstone, no extensions in those contracts. Well, the amount, if we had a dollar for every time one Edghill told a contractor no extension, and there were extensions, my God, we can reinvest in roads in this country and pave every street, every alleyway. If we had a dollar for every time Minister of Works says no extension. He told that to the company doing the work on the longest building hotel in history, the longest building airport. He told them that no extensions, but 10,000 times in the last 3 years. And then with his tail between his legs, he goes back, gives an extension and more money. This airport building so long. When they got to the end, the airport was old and they started back over again. This airport building for more than 15 years, going on 20 years now. When they come to the end, it'll be an old, outdated design, antiquated, and they gotta start back. It's madness. But he says for the mega canals of Region 6, no extensions. None, he says. We gotta see how they're going. Right? We just got a 120 million Canadian dollars loan interestingly, for vulnerable groups. Are the teachers a vulnerable group? What's the definition for vulnerable group in this country? What is the definition of a vulnerable group in this country? What is it? I'd like to know. What's the definition? The teachers, vulnerable category, public servants broadly. Is that a vulnerable group in this country? Some would say it is a very vulnerable group. Where are you joining us from, folks? Smash that emoji button for us. And consider sharing our broadcast so others get valid, credible information as we earn money. Sabakru is asking today as we wrap up. What happened to the 107 million US that Exxon owes us? Sabakru is asking the question this morning. You remember that? Vikram Bharat, Gosai, Jagdeo and the 107 million US. You remember that cook-up? I know so many scandals on a daily basis. So many scandals on a daily basis. You're finding it hard to keep up. So many of them. Whatever happened to the 107 million? Whatever happened to it? Folks, whatever happened to it? Do you remember that? When Deodat Indar, the Minister of Natural Resources, said that the ministry had no part, that an employee, Mr. Gosai, in his own deliberate judgment, went and started negotiating with Exxon. This disputed sum, they say, spent, and we were going to pay them, right? Or they don't have to pay us back, rather. He went in his own deliberate judgment. Nobody didn't know. And start negotiating. And for that sin, for that infraction, right? Was it a 1 month pay deduction or a half month? Or a no month pay deduction? Which was it? Which was it? Which was it, folks? What happened to the 107 million US? That could go to some real vulnerable communities. That could alleviate some real hardship in some vulnerable communities in this country, folks. That's gonna some real hardships. As you go, folks. Got a lot of animals out there. Y'all be careful, you know. Be careful. Be careful in this country. Right? You see something strange out there. Send us a pic. Send us some video on it. Be careful as you go out there, folks. It's another week on us. That's going to do it for us at this end. Commissioner Cole and Let Me Go. Veronica Primo Rollins joining us from Atlanta, Georgia. Unity Elias, Eon Peters. Thanks for stopping by, folks. That's going to do it for us this morning. A couple of things we think you ought to know about as we start the day, folks. Yet another day. Yet another week, folks. 46th meeting of CARICOM Center Government. Right. We're now in the aftermath of March 2024. And the teacher strike. The fourth week is upon us. Some of the issues we're contending with locally. John Jones, Gwyneth, Julia Lewis, Maxine Monroe, Michelle Garrett, King of Kings, Forbes, Bedouins, and all the other folks who are joining us. Before you go, smash that emoji button for us one time. Please and thank you. If you found any value in this program, you're joining us on our YouTube channel, consider subscribing. Somewhere on your screen there where you're viewing us is going to have a subscribe button. Consider subscribing. We encourage you to subscribe. The value of subscribing is you get a notification as soon as we publish a video on our YouTube channel. We don't have to go live. Once we publish a video there, you get a notification automatically to your smartphone, to your computer, to your email. And of course, when we go live, you get a notification as well. And you don't have to keep checking all the time. You see? You're the first to know we're posting a lot of content to our YouTube channel that we aren't posting to Facebook for instance. And so you will be definitely in the know and the first to know as soon as we post new content. That's going to do it for us, folks. I say a prayer for us, say a prayer for our teachers, say a prayer for our nation. Yeah. Stay alert, folks. It's a new week upon us. We're coming to the end of February, however, folks. March is upon us too. That being said, folks, that's going to do it for us in this end. That's our time. Good, folks. And that's our program. Stay safe. Auntie Sandra Hanover. Have a great week. June Cameron. Lachman Aziz. Happy belated birthday, Lachman. You know, and happy belated Independence to St. Lucia. Right? Miss Miller. Happy post independence, you know, anniversary, St. Lucia. Right? Happy birthday to those of you celebrating a birthday, are celebrating a birthday this week, or you would have celebrated a birthday over the last week. Happy birthday to you, folks. Wish you nothing but the best. Very, very best. Stay safe, folks. That's our time. Stay safe. Share the line before you go. Smash that emoji button as well. Folks, if you find any value in this program, stay safe.